Hey guys, Dragonzilla here, and today, I know it's been a while, but this was a video that I had a long thought about. What if Godzilla got the smile curse? What kind of new territories would Godzilla have to face, considering that this creature is indeed unbeatable, unless the host dies? With that being said, let's get right into the video. So those who don't know what the Smile Entity is, the Smile Entity is a malevolent supernatural force that tortures its victims by feeding on their trauma. And it's responsible for an ongoing series of murders, and it forces the host to kill themselves in front of a witness, and then that witness becomes the new host. And in this case, the host is going to be Godzilla. And we don't really know for sure if it can feed on other creatures beyond humans, because I don't think it can go to other beings. But let's just say that in this situation it did, and it was able to latch on to Godzilla because of another Titan killed himself, or a human killed himself in front of Godzilla. But it was like really small for him, so the entity had to go right up to his eye and kill himself. But let's just say that that's what happened, and then Godzilla got the entity. And you would think, Godzilla can't get traumatized, right? Well, actually, he can, because there are certain Titans that he's actually afraid of. Without any further ado, let's get right into this. Number 1, Godzilla's torment and possession, and the entity's main focus. The Smile Entity, which feeds on trauma and fear, would target Godzilla's existing trauma and physiological vulnerabilities. Even if Godzilla is not human, there are still things that he is most afraid of. And that being the rival, Mechagodzilla, and Red, which was actually known to be Godzilla's biggest fear. So the entity would most likely use those Titans against him, making him feel vulnerable, crash out into fear and angry. Because most likely, the entity will probably also use another kaiju that Godzilla misses very much, and that's Dagon. Because if we go back to Smile 1, Mr. Munoz, I think that's how you say it, who... yeah, he was the college professor that bludgeoned himself to death with a hammer. So there was his brother, right? But it was like as the entity, and it was kind of like tricking him, you know, making him feel traumatized, because he never got over his death at all. He never got over his death at all. So, and then, well, yeah, he bludgeoned himself to hammer in front of Laura Weaver, then Traveler Rose, and then Joel, then Lewis, then Sky, so on. You've seen the movies, but those who haven't, that's kind of how the cycle went, I guess. Number 2, the fake world. So this was a tactic that the entity used on Rose and Sky Riley. So the 4th day of Rose being alive, she thought that she killed Carl Rinkin by stabbing him in the heart, and in front of Morgan, but then it ended up all being a dream. And then also, the 4th day for Sky Riley, she thought that she was actually going to kill the demon. She thought Morris was going to kill the demon, but it was just all a fake world set up by the demon itself. And then it was autopiloting her body the entire time. So all of that was just fake. But, you know, it's kind of hard for, you know, when you have the demon, it's hard to tell which is real or which is not real. You know what I'm saying? It's very difficult. You can't really tell, which is going to be even bigger challenge for Godzilla. So let's just say Godzilla has a nightmare, and then on the 4th day he wakes up and just thinks that he's gonna fight another Titan. Like, he thinks he sees a threat coming. Like, let's just say Godzilla thought he saw Ghidorah, but it was just a zombied up, smiling Ghidorah instead as soon as he arrived in the city. And then after that, Godzilla thinks he's killed him, but then he just wakes up and it's all a dream. But that's definitely what could happen, because after day 3 is done, that's when it takes full control of your brain, when it's day 3. And then pretty soon, you don't even realize the ways the entity manipulates you, and then it's too late to stop it. But there's also another tactic that Godzilla could do before day 3 happens. Number 3, pass the curse. So, we all know how to get rid of the curse, because Robert Talley said from Smile 1 that the only way to get rid of the curse is if you kill someone in front of a witness, and then that witness becomes the new host. So, what Godzilla has to do is kill another Titan in front of another Titan, and then that Titan witness becomes the new host. Because I feel like this would be easy. This would be like an easy way out for Godzilla, because he's killed a lot of monsters in the past. Or the same thing could go for humans as well. Like, he could just kill a bunch of humans, and then the ones that are still alive and witness this happening get the curse. So that could happen. That could be an easy way out for Godzilla, because we all know that there's also another way, which is you have to die some other way outside of the being's control. Like, you have to die before it kills you, but we all know Godzilla's not going to do that. So I feel like that would probably be his best option, is to just kill someone instead. But for the purpose of this video, let's just say that he doesn't really know anything about this, because I don't really think he's gonna get that information from anywhere unless he just got lucky and just killed another Titan without even knowing about the entity. Let's just say day 1 he gets the entity, and then he kills a monster and then gives it to him, but he doesn't even know anything about it. That could happen. That very well could happen. So, yeah. But anyways, though, yeah, I guess Godzilla wins for that one. But let's just say he doesn't kill another Titan. Let's continue on with this video of what could happen for this purpose, I guess. Number 3, the struggle and potential outcomes. Other kaijus might be drawn into the conflict, attempting to fight the possessed Godzilla or the Smile entity itself. But there's only one problem with that. Sure, the other Titans sense the Smile entity's presence, yet the other Titans can't see it. So there's no absolute way that they could stop him. Sure, they would sense its presence, since the other Titans have capabilities of sensing a threat nearby, in that case being the entity, but only the witness can see him. And that witness is Godzilla. So they're gonna think Godzilla's crazy, but then again, they still sense him, but they can't see him though. That's the thing, which is very bothersome for the Titans around the world, because it's gonna cause a chain reaction, Titan after Titan rising and basically destroying shit without order, because they're just trying to find this threat, but they can't find him anywhere. So, yeah. Number 4, fight back. So you would think that the entity could just be in Godzilla's head, and then it comes out as another Titan and starts fighting Godzilla, right? You think that Godzilla could easily just kill him, right? Like, set him on fire with his atomic breath, destroy him, and basically ripping him apart, right? You would think that could happen. You would think that that Godzilla could kill it, right? You would think that he could just set him on fire just like that, right? Wrong. Because Rose actually tried to face the entity before as well by doing kind of the same fashion as I mentioned with the atomic breath, except it's a lantern instead of, well, it's kind of the same thing. So she set the entity on fire, and the entity basically burned up, but the entity did not die because, well, we thought that the entity clearly died, but no, it was all fake. It was all just a dream. So you can't even fight this entity, and even if you weren't dreaming, you can't even kill this entity. There's no absolute way that you can actually kill it at all. There's no way you can kill it. There's no way, because it's melded into your mind, because you got to remember that this thing is in your mind. It's a parasite, and parasites only live when the host lives. So there's no absolute way you can kill it. You can't kill it with your bare hands. This is a thing you can't beat. So, unless you kill someone, of course, but Godzilla did not figure that out. But if he did, then there you go. Number 5, the impact on the world. A possessed Godzilla's death would be catastrophic. He might unleash a final uncontrollable atomic breath attack, melting down in a super critical event, or even trigger a massive global disaster like an earthquake. Massive spread of the curse if Godzilla's death is witnessed by a massive crowd. As hinted in the ending of Smile 2, the Smile curse would spread to countless individuals, leading to a widespread mental health crisis and societal collapse. Uncertainty about defeating the entity. The traditional method of breaking the curse might not work when dealing with a possessed Godzilla. So, I bet y'all are wondering, how will Godzilla actually do it to himself? Damn, that actually sounded so messed up. But hey, that's how it works. But technically, Godzilla didn't really kill himself because, well, the entity was, inside of him, and then he was systematically possessed and then murdered by the entity. So, it's not, can you really call it suicide? No. But all I can say is that I bet a smiling Godzilla would probably look very fucking creepy, in my opinion. But I mean, here's some things that Godzilla, or technically the entity could make him do. And that's, say like he takes a pointy thing on top of a building and then just impaling his whole face into it, or his chest, or cutting him up so much to the point where he falls to the ground. Or another thing he could do is that he could take a sharp top of a mountain and then he could just bludge his face into it with the pointy top. He could just bludge himself to death, kind of like what the professor did. Or another thing he could do is he could take a train and then shove it down his throat, and then he uses his atomic breath, and the train full of explosives just explode on the inside, killing him. And this really kills me to say, because, well, I really like Godzilla and all. In fact, I fucking love... my channel's all based around Godzilla, but I just don't see a way, unless he kills someone, I just don't see a way he could actually beat or withstand or survive the Smile entity. I don't think Godzilla could actually survive it. So, yeah, that's kind of it, I guess. But I mean, hey, at least for those Smile fans, at least you know that the entity is always gonna win, I guess. But that's just that sucks. That really does suck. But just don't get the curse, all right? Just, if you see somebody smiling at you, just look away. Simple. Just look away. And then because if you don't see the death, you can't be traumatized if you don't see it. So yeah, just you know, look away from it. But another thing is that if Godzilla did spread the curse to all the individuals, and then in 5 days they bludge themselves, and then more people, it's probably going to be even worse than the stadium scene at the end of Smile 2 where she gave it to all those people. It's probably going to be even worse. Because it's a whole city. And a whole city is different than a whole stadium. And then it's gonna be like a country spread. It's gonna kill them all. But you know, that's what could happen. That's literally what could happen. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. I just didn't really see another outcome that could happen, but you know, this was the outcome. I guess was just, you can't kill it. All right, have a good day, everybody.